It is. I've only seen it once, and I quote unquote called it, but I technically called it after I saw Uncle carrying the sword out of the house, because I believe the Uncle's actually carries the sword in this cutscene. Speaking of which, of course, we are on our way.
Yes. I think there's a chance that we see the sword today. It's been I've never seen it, so.
Well, as I said though, I think the Uncle normally carries it with him if it is, so I think it can't be, like, I think you can know it's sword. We already know it's not sword, I believe.
Oh.
Because otherwise Uncle would have been carrying the sword on his way out the door.
Oh, nice little touch here by the developers.
Anyways,
and
of course,
both runners fall in the hole and the Uncle hole at the same time.
Yeah, we're matching step for step. Hammer, the fast opening.
Yeah, and Hammer is very good when you're a runner, because not only is it a tier 3 like tempered damage weapon, but also opens up a lot of location once you get to Dark World, and even it's one of the 2 items required to open most of Dark World portals, so it's pretty awesome when you see it.
Exactly, it's always really nice to see a hammer early. It's also doesn't have ammunition, which is another benefit of it. Most of the other weapons you can start with do have an ammunition that can limit your options on how you play the opening of the seed.
Exactly, but maybe if they hit too much, they will break the hammer.
If only. This isn't Breath of the Wild, though. This is not Breath of the Wild. This is Link to the Past.
Oh, they should like make a Link to the Past Breath of the Wild cross, where like the hammer has like 5 charges, and you have to go to the smiths to make it repair.
Oh, okay. That would be quite the ordeal.
Maybe a new mode for later.
The one problem with hammer, it likes to tink on the purple guards all the time.
Oh yeah, the hitbox on the hammer is smaller than the sword, so you have to be careful. Also, especially in the starting of the game, where you have not a lot of armor and arts, but
the early heart that they already picked up definitely already helping that situation.
Yeah. And since it's one hit every enemy mostly in the start of the game, it's not too scary that you don't have to stay. Yeah, you get close, but you kill him and then you can leave.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zheal's farming that he's been doing, he hasn't got 1 but 2 bombs already from the enemies in Escape. So he is on a very good path to being able to do all of. If he gets a bomb drop somewhere, another bomb drop or 2 along the way, he won't even have to buy bombs till he's done clearing Kakariko Village.
Oh yeah, that's the best case scenario all the time. You never want to go buy bombs. And he finds a 3rd one, and he doesn't get it. Maybe I'll kill this guy, and when he goes back.
Yeah, might get on the way back out, perhaps. Not really much reason to skip bomb drops this early.
Well, Wazzy already killed it, and he didn't get the bomb drop.
Oh, he did get it. He's got 3 bombs.
Zheal does, but not Wazzy, right?
Oh, Oase. Oh, I didn't notice that Oase had the.
But the girl was killed, so I don't know. Maybe if the way he kills it is different, but not the same bomb drop. And you never want to not have the bomb drop.
Prize packs are silly. Let's just leave it at that. Prize packs. There's a lot of knowledge that would have to go into understanding how prize packs work, and it would almost always be irrelevant if you didn't have knowledge of what someone else was doing as well anyways.
Oh yeah, like the number of items that you've killed without taking damage, I think is something that matters.
I don't think that affects prize packs. That's the trees. That's the pull trees.
Oh yeah.
But the prize packs, like every enemy is like put into a random prize pool, and then the prize pools are also randomized on what they are. So there's no way anyone would ever map it out. You're more interested in the stun prize and the freeze prize, things like that. But
for sure. And he found the bomb, so at least he'll be able to get the 3 more important chests here that you don't want to come back to.
Exactly.
But for Zheal, it's great to think, oh, I don't need to find bombs, then I can go in the well and the blind zot and would not worry about bombs. And that's always a worry when you don't have them. Then you have to route Kakariko a little bit differently.
Exactly, yeah. So it is nice to be able to just know that you're... Maybe you have to buy one before... No, he's going to get another one. He doesn't even need to buy one for Chicken Coop now.
Yeah, and generally when you get at least one for Wishing Well and... Oh, and 8... Okay, they're gravy on bombs now.
Decent chance that Oase also gets that bomb drop, depending on... Oh, maybe he won't. And speaking of which, Moon Pearl. Missed that on Zheal's screen, but that's one heck of an early Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and already only the gloves is required now for Dark World access, and there's 2 of those in the world. So
yeah, Aghahnim's not dead, but it's real close.
Oh yeah, he's fainting in the corner. Oh, and a rat here on Zheal screen trying to block the way. So there's a big difference on bomb counts already for both runners. But that's not going to be too much of a worry, except if Oase has to go buy bombs and lose $50 and then doesn't have enough money for Zora, because right now, since they have the Moon Pearl, they're probably going to want to do fake flippers to get to see the waterfall early on. And so Zora is just after that. But right now, they're pretty close. But if he has to buy bomb and he has 50 rupees less, maybe he won't be able to do it.
Yeah, should likely not going to turn into a problem. Another 300 rupee drop you'll still have enough money even after buying bombs and funding the rupee vendor, assuming that you pick up the pots that you can pick up for money in Kakariko Village.
Oh yeah, Kakariko has a lot of drops, so
there's a free 50 rupees pretty much on your way.
Mm-hmm. And you get a map check.
Yeah, boring pendants on Eastern and Desert, and a boring crystal on Tower of Hera.
Yeah, as a runner, you always prefer to see those as crystal, because they are usually shorter dungeon and more accessible ones. And today we're gonna have to see a lot of Dark World dungeon, which I'm personally excited for.
Interesting case also where it actually makes an interesting case for doing an earlier Eastern Palace play. Because you can talk to Sahasrara for knowledge of what the last pendant is, and then know what all the crystals are as well.
Exactly.
So if we don't see gloves early on, I would not be surprised to see, if a runner was very information heavy, which both these runners checking Lumberjack Cave are at least more information heavy than some, you may see a very fast Eastern check just to talk to Sahasrara.
Yeah, it's always good to know what dungeon and pendants are, because now you can already kind of plan in your head what you're looking for. So if Swamp is the green crystal, then you don't need to find the flippers to complete the game, and that's big information.
Yeah, you need it logically still, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't need to find them.
Yeah, because you can fake flippers to ice, and sometimes those type of decision doing it will cost you a lot, or sometimes they will make you win the seed. So.
Yep.
I hope that's where something like this we're gonna get to see today. I like big spectacular races, and now we're entering into Kakariko for the first time.
Of course, the other interesting thing would be if either Swamp or Pod is the other crystal, because that would make either the hookshot or the bow not required until Ganon's Tower.
Oh yeah, and that can be the tricky bow, and sometimes I've seen runners forget it, though I wouldn't think these runners at 3-1 would forget something like that.
No, probably not. Speaking of flippers, there's flippers.
Flippers already. So I was talking earlier about the fake flippering because you have the Moon Pearl, but now you don't need. You just can regular flippers.
You can real flipper, or you can forget you have flippers and fake flipper anyways, because I have seen that on occasion.
Well, it's just about the mindset. You're comfortable fake flippering, and you can showcase your skill anyway.
Exactly. You never know if you actually got it or not, probably, because even if you got that 1 pixel off, you just jump into the water anyways. But
oh yeah, it's like I don't need these flippers. I can do it myself.
Anyways, Oase getting a little bit lucky there with that bomb in the behind the bumble wall in Blind's hut there, and a book. Yeah. We can read now, guys.
And more bombs, so still no need to buy bombs. And
bombs blocked by bombs. That's just, I don't even know. The thing.
That's always the case where when you go buy bombs at the shop because you don't have money, the first thing you bomb the ball wall for is gonna be bombs.
Yeah. Silver arrows. We've got silver arrows already. Zheal is doing a pedestal check.
Wow. He really want to know right now. And I can say I blame it.
So once again, I would not be surprised at all if we don't see gloves in the rest of Kakariko, if we don't see Zheal to go to Eastern Palace, possibly even before South Hylia, to look for the to look at what the last pendant is.
Yeah. The only unfortunate thing about this check right now is it's a bit out of the way.
Yeah.
And now we know it's not it. So for him, it's time he can save, because when he's in the pendant dungeon, he is for sure in the green and blue one. He's for sure that he doesn't need to clear it.
The red
Sometimes
and blue.
if you don't
Red
know,
and
you'll
blue.
say, "Oh, I'm gonna clear it," because you never know. But now he knows.
Yeah, exactly. If he does get into Eastern and finds the bow but gets all the items before going to Armos, he can go, nah, I'm good. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah. And that might be a time save for him down the line, because right now it costs him about, I would say, a minute here or a bit, or so getting there. And
Desert Palace would be pretty much the same. Desert Palace, they have, as soon as they get, well, they need a gloves and a fire source still, so they still need plenty to be able to finish it.
But you can, it's still good to go, because you have the book you can enter, and there's the ledge item.
And it might be, well, no, we already have Dark World access by the time we get gloves, so we probably wouldn't see Landmolas too early at this seed, but we won't see them from Zheal most likely, not unless they hold the last item.
And the runners found well, Oase did, and Zheal is about to get his blue mail, and that's going to be a great help for when they get to Dark World, if they get it pretty soon here.
Yeah. Yeah, blue mail's nice. 5 hearts, you're already starting to get to a point where at least you can take a hit or two, especially since you do have that blue mail. You're actually in a place where you're pretty safe in the overworld and Dark World at this. In the dungeon, a different story where things are meant to really try to kill you.
Oh yeah, nothing worse than being on green mail in Turtle Rock with like 7 hearts. It's like it's not meant to be.
And of course, nothing interesting in our check locations. Library and race game both having capacity upgrades, so.
Yeah, capacity upgrades often underrated, but you never know when you're gonna need a lot of arrows in a seed. But right now, it's all about the time save for the runners. Was even skipping a piece of art here, and I like this mindset. Like, you're gonna go fast. We're gonna skip everything that we can.
Well, to be fair, with silver arrows already, I don't think we're gonna need lots of arrows anywhere in this seed.
Yeah. Well, depends if you are skillful at shooting arrows. I know myself, even silver arrows, it's like I just can't get a hit anytime. But these are they're very good, so
yeah,
they shouldn't have a problem. And a perfect bomb on the Landmolas here. 3 bombs, 4 kills.
Moldorms, mini Moldorms.
Yeah, mini Moldorms.
Fire Rod. Interesting little one. Also the best boomerang.
Yeah, I also agree that the blue. No, I disagree. Red boomerang is the best.
Oh, okay.
I like it because it can go all the way to the room, even though it's a little bit. It lags the game a bit. It can go all the way.
Yeah, it depends on what tricks you're doing. I like red boomerang for setting up my Tower of Hera coffee break.
Yeah. Gotta have the coffee. It's doable on the green, also on the blue, but I think it's a bit harder.
Yeah, I think it's real tight, if even possible, in with blue boomerang there, because there's not anything you can like hook shot to or anything like that, like some of the other tricks do.
Yeah, you have to do like I think you have to use Y and A at the same time to run and use the boomerang to get it there safely. So you need the boots also.
Anyways, Zheal used some hammer shots to clear out the mini Moldorm cave, saved himself some bombs.
Well, not that he really need to save bombs, but
I don't think so, but may also just not be confident in his bomb strats in general. Interesting that Oase is running around. I'm pretty sure that swimming straight down is the faster way to do this.
Oh yeah, swimming is faster. If you have the boot, I think it's pretty much the same, but now that he's walking, it's very much more slow.
Yeah. Whereas you could have just swam straight down and been here a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and also water is refreshing, you know.
Yeah.
Walking all the time, it's not efficient.
So Zheal's going to be a little bit ahead on these checks. We'll see if he does Ice Rod Cave, though, before he goes over to the Zora area.
Yeah, this is a remote place. Sometimes people will skip it until they have the boots and the ocarina. It's like a Ginas, you know, you don't want to go there. But sometimes there's something, so And neither of the runner have the money for Zora right now, so it's gonna be interesting to see if they try to farm money or if they get money in the waterfall.
That could be a gamble that Zheal takes as well. It's just go to waterfall. Actually, he's just going to Eastern Palace, which I mentioned before.
Yeah. Interesting route here. I like it. And was he saying no? I'm committing to the swimming.
I don't see. As I said, this is the difference between chess per minute and information sort of plays.
Yeah. Well, I like both plays because I think since you have the flippers, you're thinking, what does the flipper unlock for me? And
maybe
there is the lamp and the shovel.
Talk to Sahas though, Zheal. You need to finish the information play. Come on, do it, Zheal.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't do it. He doesn't care about what Sahasrahla has to say. Does not
already
care
knows
what Sahasrahla has to say.
Yeah. Waze with the 420 rupees, not gonna get the flipper, the Zora item, but pretty happy with his lantern, I guess. Although he already had a fire source, and he can do pretty much every room in the dark, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But it's still good to know, like, okay, it's in logic now. Every place that's dark, it's in logic now.
Exactly. Makes the Eastern play a little bit nicer because you know that you can do everything up to Armos Knights, and knowing that Armos Knights are potentially not required in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be a nice piece of information to have. Also, Zheal has, maybe this is what Zheal was looking for, was the 500 rupees first. Zheal has 500 rupees now, so...
And that could be a big play for him right now.
Yep, or is the shovel the play? The answer is yes. The shovel doesn't unlock a lot by itself, but it's still a sword.
Yeah, and you need 2 swords to get to Ganon, to the fight, to get the Master Sword. So, and I've seen a few raids this week where people exited Ganon's Tower without the Master Sword. So it's always good to find swords, even though you have the hammer.
Exactly. It's not one of those really big hype moments. Actually, at the moment, it's one of those things where you go, oh, geez, now I'm like 1 item away from Agahnim access.
Oh, yeah.
And without a glove, that could still be their required Dark World access. As I said, Agahnim was dying, but is by no means dead.
Yeah, and I've seen in the player bios by Oase that he says the item he doesn't want to see is the cape in any situation, because that opens up Agahnim, and he doesn't want to do that. Because right now, if the 2 gloves upgrade are in the Dark World, you have to do it.
Yep. Both gloves upgrades in there, you have to do it. We'll see. I am a little interested to see what our next progression item is, because it has to be coming here in the desert area, I think, or in Eastern Palace,
or in
the other place. Yeah. It could be the flute actually the flute wouldn't be huge yet by itself.
No, because you don't have neither the mirror or the hookshot to get any.
But it would still be 2 locations nonetheless.
Oh yeah, because they have the lamp, so the old man Gary is now in logic.
Yeah. The boots would be another thing that you could find. You could, of course, find your glove upgrade to get proper access. You could find the cape or another sword, which also gives you access to Agahnim. All sorts of progression options that we could see here in the very near future.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure these runners are hoping for the gloves here, but we'll see what it is. And we'll see if this dungeon here, if you can get all the items from it, because it might be, if the small key is on the torch, there's not much you can do here.
Well, yeah, the small key or the big. If there's a small key, you may see it may be one of the runner's decision to do what I like to call the jailbreak of the key. They'll take a key from the back and use it to get into the front here.
Oh yeah, and it's I think it's kind of worth it at this point, because you know it's not, well, for Zheal, you know it's not a pet seat, so you know you don't really need to kill a boss.
Well, and either way, the big key's up there, so yeah, so it's definitely a play you could make. Zheal, you don't have a small key.
Oh no.
Well, I'll figure it out here.
Well, maybe he's going for the exit. Did he go to Aginas?
Maybe he didn't, but yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We're fine. Everything's fine. I would have probably just gone out the other way and taken my full heart container, walked across the bottom of the desert, but That's neither here nor
yeah,
there.
I think it's a little bit faster this way, but of course, yeah, the art container is pretty good. Also, when you have already only 6 container right now, I think 5, 6.
Yeah, 6.
So that's a 15% upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the green
Misery
pendant
Mire.
is Misery Mire. Everything else in Dark World is a crystal. We just don't know where the 5 and 6 crystals are.
Oh yeah. And knowing that it's not a pet seed, and knowing that Misery Mire is the green pendant, I'm thinking maybe Ocarina will be hard to find this seed.
Yeah, you might not see that flute for quite a while, if at all. It could be in Ganon's tower.
Oh, it's happened before, and
Yeah.
I like these because it makes routing a bit more different, difficult, and it's where people might gain some time here and lose some time on routing without the flute sometimes.
The only problem that we would run into, of course, is if the first glove is actually flute locked, but that's different.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the first glove could be on Death Mountain.
Exactly.
Or both gloves could be on Death Mountain, and then like we have no choice but to get the flute to get up there.
Flute away to the gloves. But now we're in Eastern for Oase, and it's sure that's progression in there because there's nowhere else to see after that.
Yeah.
Or maybe Sick Kid. Have we seen Sick Kid? Yeah.
Yeah, they had the bottle they had the
Alright.
bottle. That was where their blue mail was.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, so nothing too much left here. Zheal probably a little sad in their decision to not immediately just do Eastern Palace in the first place.
Yeah, it's understandable because, like I said, when you have the flippers, you're thinking the flippers must open something for me if I get them so early. But and he didn't have the money for Zora, but now he has to come back all the way. So yeah, that's a bit of lost time. And so far, OSA is not very so much ahead, but it's a little bit ahead just because of these more efficient routing he's been doing.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that Zheal has information that OSA doesn't have with the pedestal check.
Exactly.
2 more chests, 3 more chests in Eastern, and no item yet.
And we get a little bit of love for a heart container.
Yeah, if you get in the big chest, if you get like a progression item, do you go for the last chest or you peace out already?
I would personally go for the last one just because of the fact that I know that could be the last item that is that I would ever need to come to Eastern for in the first place. Especially once again as Zheal, saying that in Zeal's case, like for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, Zheal doesn't want to like triple dip the Eastern area.
Well, and of course now we pretty much know that's not going to be the case. We know that this vanilla big key location has to be something unless we've forgotten about something they could do.
Yeah. Well, they'll have to come back here anyway in the Dark World for Palace of Darkness, and maybe when we do that, if there's still looking for things, maybe he'll come back into it to kill Armos.
Well, Zheal won't.
Yeah. Well,
because it's Aga one. It's an Aga seed.
Oh my god.
We had Hammer and Moon Pearl in 2 of the first 4 locations in the game, and then never found a glove.
There it is.
And now Zeal's actually ahead because Oasa hasn't done Zora yet.
Oh, that's true, and he wanted to go there right now, so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where the efficient routing ends here on the Oasis part. And I think they might end up being pretty much on sync.
Yeah, they're not going to be far apart.
And that's what I like. I like when it's close.
So
but yeah, have we seen the 3 items in Eastern at this point? Or only 2?
Yeah, that's the 3 items. Because we had a little bit of love in the bomb capacity upgrade and the Master Sword.
Amazing. So we're not gonna see.
Oh wait, Zheal doesn't have. Does Zheal have any sort? Does Zheal? Okay, Zheal doesn't.
Yeah, he went and picked up his sword.
Just making sure I wasn't just like overstating what was going on. Yeah, there's.
Oasis is gonna be a little bit sad here when he finds nothing and realizes he has to go all the way to Agahnim. But he must be already thinking about that. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
There it is.
Continuing on our capacity upgrade seed. There's been a lot of capacity upgrades in this seed.
There's a lot of arrow capacity upgrade, but there's still no bow, so you cannot take advantage of all these arrow capacity. So that sucks. And even if they are not stocking on arrows, like Oase only has 15, even though he could carry like 45 right now.
Yeah.
And Agahnem's tower is a great place to showcase skills. Like every room is a bit different, and there's a different way to kill the bosses. I think we're gonna see a lot of fire rod and hammer strats here, considering they only have the. Yeah.
Now comes the fire rod. There we go. Fire rod to kill those two is probably your best option.
Oh, and there was a full magic refill, but opted not to go.
Probably a little bit silly, but it's not a huge problem either way. Look, there's another magic drop. Surprise, surprise.
It's gonna be interesting to see where they go from there after that. They don't have the bow, but they have the flippers and not the hookshot. So there's not a lot of places they can look, right? They cannot cross the river. They cannot really cross. No, they have the hammer, so they can go all the way to Ab Cave, I guess. So I'm thinking we're gonna see south route from the pyramid. Yeah, Ab Cave has 5 items, and at this point, the gloves or another progression should be bound to be somewhere there. But we could see a troll pod in play, and right now neither of our runners have the money necessary to open it. So
yeah, pod is one option. You also have the option of potentially hype cave, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do, and if they do the same thing. So far, they've been routing a bit differently, so it's good to see that little bit of a difference in the gameplay, but still almost at the same room at the same time right now. Having checked everything that's possible. Almost sync here.
Yeah, really, same cutscene, same time.
Is Aga gonna be our friend today, or is gonna be a troll and just give us the blue balls forever?
People are throwing in their guesses already. See, I used to like 3. I still like 3. 3 is the appropriate amount of troll. It forces you to go through the second lightning phase without, like, making the fight feels like it takes forever.
Yeah. I understand that in NMG it's really up to the... It's totally RNG, but here, sometimes I randomize, so I'm thinking, it's just a loss of time, like, they should, like, map it so it's normal, but it's okay. It makes a bit of excitement in the game.
Yeah, it's not going to affect the outcome of the match at all, assuming that neither player misses a hit.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen people miss a hit on Aghanim's one, at least.
Oh, I've definitely seen misses on Aga 1 for various reasons. The most common reason being because they're trying swagging him and just mistime the net spin.
Yeah. But right now doing Swaganim would be very hard considering they don't have the swag net.
Yeah, yes. That's the most common reason I see that people have quote-unquote problems hitting every single ball.
Oase is going for a bit of swag himself here. He's playing the boomerang with Agahnim meanwhile.
I'm not counting these, but this is ridiculous.
More than 3.
Well more than 3. I'm not sure if we're on worst pattern. No, we're not on worst pattern. Okay.
No, 15 is and both Zheal and Oase at the boomerang strats here, and a perfect sync here almost. into the Dark World before 30 minutes.
What do we have
gloves.
on the ledge? 1 heart. Yeah, we didn't open up a lot of locations. The only location that we opened up before we got Aga access was with flippers, which most people do anyways because of fake flippers. So
Yes.
we effectively didn't open up any new locations. We just exhausted what was available, and then
Yeah.
I guess we did Desert Palace. That's the one thing, but Desert Palace also immediately keylocked itself. So
We see on the map check that ice and pod are gonna be the red crystal for the seed. That's the last bit of information we didn't know.
yep.
And it looks like both runner are going for the Hype Cave play, which is like the most value play considering they don't have the money for pod right now. Sorry. I gotta feel bad for runners being 30 minutes in and having no dungeon completed, but
Hey, look, there's the cave and the gloves.
and wow,
That was a nice cave. I like this. There was
Yeah.
a good hype cave. That was very V29.
it's the rebirth of the Hype Cave.
Yeah, V29 has had some really nice hype caves. I like it.
It's always either hit or miss. You never seen just one item there. It's like there's 0 item there, or it's like there's 4 item there.
Yeah, exactly.
Still not enough money because there was too much good items there. They still don't have the money for pod, but now they have gloves, so they could go to that mountain in Light World. But they're probably gonna end their heading towards Stumpy and the chess game first. Let's see if there's something good there.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what we get through here.
I like the chess game. It's not. I keep calling it the chess game, but it's the digging game. And I want to say already digging, just practicing his digging. I don't know why. Slowing him down though, but it's experience for when he's gonna have to do it for real.
Yep.
Well, you're gonna get money in the digging. Oh, he doesn't have. He has enough for to open. It's 50 rupees, right? To open the digging
It
game.
might be 80 actually. I'm not sure.
Oh my god, it's 80. Wow. There it is.
Okay, so now the question is, was the hype cave dip required? Is the item on Catfish, or is it in pod?
It looks like Zheal is gonna try to go for the Death Mountain play here. It's not
Oh
a bad
right,
call
right. We got
because-
glove. Right, we opened up everything. I'm silly. We
well,
have a glove.
it's still only two location on Death Mountain, but at least you can save and quit from there after. So
Well, he might not even do Death Mountain. Yeah, he's going Thieves Town in Skull Woods.
oh yeah. You can. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I still wouldn't mind the Death Mountain play. The Death Mountain play is a very much a zero-sum game right now, because it's basically banking on not finding the flute later type of thing, or finding the flute so much later that you've already gone to Death Mountain once or twice, because unlocking the Old Man is part of the trip up to Death Mountain, and then it opens up that save and quit location.
Yeah.
So it's actually not an awful check to do right now, given that it's already in logic and get that trip up to Spectacle Rock dealt with already. But at the same time, if it feels bad if you get the hookshot or the mirror in the next 5 minutes in the Dark World.
Oh yeah, and right now with the items they have, they can clear Skullwoods and Thieves Town. So there's no like they're making a good call here to go do these 2 crystals.
Exactly.
When you're 33 minutes into the seed and you have no dungeon clear, like you want to do that, like you want to get it done with, you're gonna get started on some dungeon action.
Yeah.
And,
Zheal making the nice gamble here, skips the fall down and gets a small key in that chest, so is able to not have to worry about the fall down part.
Yeah, routing the logic, and gets the hook shot.
There you go, and that's exactly why you didn't. That's part of why you didn't really want to do Death Mountain immediately.
Yeah, because now there's gonna be so much more value when he finally goes there.
Yeah.
And a nice fall in the pit to save some time on the room and gets back on track to go beat Machula. And meanwhile, Oase doing the opposite.
Doing sort of what I would call the standard strategy that pretty much everyone does. Of course, there's one more item here, so I'm a little interested to see he is going to go straight for this. I half expected him to just actually go ahead and go straight to Mothula.
Exactly. But here Oase is in a bad position a little bit because he has to clear the other room to get the key to exit.
Yep.
Because you cannot death warp. You cannot if save and quit is not.
There's
efficient.
the flute, so that paid off.
Wow.
So there's our faster Dark World access.
Well, that mountain access, yeah.
Or sorry, yes. Whatever I said was wrong.
It was. I was like, well, we're already in Dark World.
We're already in Dark World. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm silly, guys.
Well,
Don't mind me.
but it's kind of true in a way that the flute makes it faster to go Dark World sometime.
That's also true. Yeah, it gives you that a slightly nicer place to go to pod, to go to get. It's nice that you can flute to 3 to get to this area faster. Although I don't think we'll be coming here very much this seed.
Mm-hmm. Well, it might be coming back with the Smith chain if the second pair of glove is later found.
True.
Mothula's gonna be a nice fight here because runners have the tempered sword, so that makes the fight more easily manageable than fighter sword, hammer, or.
But it's gonna have to be a fight they take carefully because even if we get a full health refill here, you're still gonna have to be very careful to not take a death to just being a little bit too brazen in your attacks.
It's 4 hits on the mutt, but you gotta be careful that your hits don't cancel out on the spikes.
Not using any fire rod shots, which is interesting, but hey, got it down. It's done.
Yeah, well, fire rod shots only do the master sword damage, but it's safer because you can stay at that distance for sure.
Well, and it's nice because you can also, if you aim them right, you can actually even shoot past the moth and then have the damage effect hit be what actually it's moth, and it blasts him forward for you and off that back wall.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, and I think since he doesn't have the mirror, he wants to activate the flute as fast as possible, so he's not gonna bother with Thieves Town, and he's straight up for the flute here.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see just also immediately turn to Death Mountain play as well. Because, of course, with the hookshot, we have all of Death Mountain in play, all of Light World Death Mountain anyways.
Yep.
The one thing that you may want to put it off for is the fact that you don't have the Titan's Mitts, and you sort of want the Titan's Mitts before you head up there, but that's a much lesser concern, especially since it's very, very possible the Titan's Mitts are just up there in the first place.
Oh yeah, but if Waze goes for Thieves Town and finds the mitts there, like in Vanilla Dungeon, could be a more efficient route.
Exactly.
Because there's no reason not to check. Well, maybe the difference is that you have to go all the way back to Thieves Town, and once he doesn't have his flute here, so he's gonna have to check a few more chests and. Oh, he got his flute, I think. Here, okay, yeah, he got his flute. Yeah. Don't mind me. Oh, yeah, and it looks like he's
gonna walk back to Thieves Town.
Yep.
Might check Bumper Cave on the way out as well. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Bumper Cave is accessible right now, and we didn't need the cape for Agahnim because they had the Master Sword, and the cape was found in the Dark World. So sometimes the cape is not there for no reason. Maybe it leads to something.
Yep.
So one of these players might get an advantage here from the decision that they're making right now.
Yep. What do you have, old man? What would we have gotten if we'd just come up here blind? Without the hook shot.
Oh, we're gonna have to wait a bit.
We're gonna have to wait for a little bit. Okay, Bumper Cave, what have you got while we wait for the moment?
Yeah.
20 rupees on Bumper Cave. Cave is just a safety item this seed.
Always good to spend more time with the elderly. So a nice service by the little guy here, the Bunk Rocks. And we're going up.
Dead Rocks, yeah. Silly Dead Rocks.
I missed what's on Bumper Cave, but I'm pretty sure it's not worth it because Wazzy came straight back.
It was 20 rupees.
Oh, 20. Well, 20 rupees could be great for Wazzy right now.
That's not wrong. Half magic on Spectacle Rock.
Oh, well, We won't see that right now because they don't have the mirror, and maybe we won't even see it ever because why come back here?
Yeah, exactly. It depends on exactly, but I would expect that at 3 and 1, we probably won't see any detours for this.
Nope.
As we're gonna full clear the light world side, pretty much right now.
Yeah, half magic is something like when you get it in a chest that you have to open anyway, you're like pretty happy to get it, but you're not gonna do a detour for that.
No. But that being said, you definitely could see someone make the decision to make that detour on their way up to like Turtle Rock later type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that someone does decide to make that detour because it is a very short detour, and we're talking in terms of like a couple seconds maybe. And there's a butter sword already.
Butter sword. Butter sword is nice though, but it's not progression.
No, butter sword means very little to. Really, I've gotten to this point as someone who's currently 1 and 3 in the tournament. I'm like, well, butter sword is nice, I guess. Like it's been relegated to that point of I'll take it because it's better, but I don't really care.
And the rest of I think it's Paradox Cave is their official name. Nothing there. So, but there's still a few checks on that mountain, Tower of Hera and the Spiral Cave.
Yeah, Paradox Cave, or Mountain Hype Cave, as it got renamed in a couple versions because that's where all the hype was.
I like the name that somebody in the chat gave today, the Garbage Cave. It's just nothing there.
Yeah, it hasn't been doing as much as Hype Cave reclaimed its glory, basically.
Yeah. Hype Cave won. And so far, Oase not finding any progression either in this first half of Thief Town. So we cannot say for sure who's making the best call right now.
Yeah, very, very hard to tell. So much that can be done right now.
We might see the book. Yeah, there's the book and the butter sword. We're also gonna see the first tomb here.
Yeah, no reason to not check the ether tablet.
Well, except if you want to save 10 seconds and you really think there's nothing there, but
yeah,
that would be silly.
That would be very silly.
And
the one time where you wouldn't mind actually being able to downgrade your sword for a moment. It's like I just have fighter sword. I just want to read the tablet.
Yeah, because you can do it with the silver arrows and the boomerang. You should be able to do it with a sword.
Nice small key. We might have a fire. We might have to do the basement. That's really an issue. We've got both fire sources.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I think if you're Zheal, even if Big Key is here, yeah, if you don't find the second item upstairs, you will want to go there because you gambled for that mountain and you're not finding anything right now, so you want to make sure you get every item out of here.
This seed is just being a little silly. Then again, Pod still being a potentially multi-item location that we could check.
Yep, and sometimes it's not the most like you don't want to go there until you have the bow. But sometimes it's places like this that makes you way up ahead your opponents. But it's also a big gamble.
On a similar note, well, there's the Cane of Samaria. That doesn't do a lot for us right now, I don't think.
No, and not until we find the second pair of glove upgrade.
Yeah, especially since we already did Skull Woods.
Zheal falling the big pit here, and that's a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to do tile room. We might just be hitting the switch. I think we're just but we might just decide to do tile room now.
Maybe it was a.
Nope, we're just going to hit the switch.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's what I figured it probably was, because he needs to get out of the back, and to do that, you need to go hit a crystal switch.
But there's only 2 items in Hera, right?
Yes.
Knowing the information that it is, it's a crystal. Okay.
It's a crystal,
I was like, I think it's a pendant, but it's not a pendant, so you have to kill it anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's why I don't. And Zheal right there showcasing why I don't do the bomb jump, because I don't trust myself to actually consistently land the bomb jump.
If you don't have the boots, it's very much harder. You need to have like the spin setup. But
although he's not using the hookshot trick.
Oh yeah, hookshot makes it pretty much easy.
Yeah.
But sometimes you are like when you're in a race like this, 45 minutes in, You don't remember all these like, oh, I have the shot.
No.
Because they got it.
I'm not even sure how much of a time difference there is, because both of them still require falling a floor.
Yeah, but
So-
falling 1 floor versus falling 3 floors.
Yes. You don't want to take that 2-floor fall.
Alright, nothing of value in Thieves Town, unfortunately for Oase. But Zheal still not having a major breakthrough either, except the Red King.
Yeah, the Canister Maria being nice, but it's not going to hide from. It's not going to be a problem for Oase.
No.
Oase, what are we doing?
He's contemplating his life options here.
Yep.
Oh, and we're gonna see the basement, the coffee break.
Oase, I think, is gonna do. Oh no, so Oase still needs to activate their flute.
A good choice. Always a good choice to activate the flute.
Yeah, as soon as you do it save and quit, you go and activate your flute. There's no reason to not activate your flute at that point. I think in any situation, with the exception of if you're already in go mode and you have to just go and you're already just going back to Death Mountain type of thing. But in general,
yeah,
for go mode, just go activate your save
Yeah.
and quit.
yeah.
Nice
Also-
sword beam coffee break there.
And now we will get to hear it for the first time since we have Oase's audio. Let's go. Such a sweet melody.
Exactly.
I should get that for my ring.
Even Zheal taking, of course, the moment to respect this swag duck.
Yeah. He stopped playing on his side, hearing the sound from the parallel universes. You gotta show respect for the anthem.
And 300 rupees. I
Oh,
don't think Zheal was really looking for that, but. And then, so we're gonna get, I assume, a spiral cave check. I assume.
yeah, but it's really gonna take a.
It
Not
could be
having the mirror.
Spike Cave. It could be Spike Cave as well, but probably not.
Oh yeah, you have to take a choice here.
No, Zheal, you need to hit the next. You need to hit the switch again. Zheal, please.
Well, you can shoot fire rod shot and maybe hit the switch.
You could. You definitely can. I think the fire rod might be the only thing in his inventory that can do it right now. I don't think the hook shot or the red boomerang can do it.
And we're gonna have seen 3 tile room in this seed. Maybe 4 if Oase does the same thing.
Well, we saw the tile room. We saw Zheal enter the tile room 4 different times. Just
Oh
saying.
yeah, it's a multi-tile room seed.
Yeah, multi tile room seed.
Maybe more if we see the one in the GT.
I don't think we're seeing the one in GT. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was gonna say we don't want to see the one in Turtle Rock. Yes, there's a tile room in Turtle Rock. We don't want to see that one.
Maybe we'll see every title room multiple times. Maybe it's like the team of the seed.
I don't think we're gonna see multiple tile rooms in a 3-1 race.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, I remember where it is, and it's like the useless cave ever. Is that like the cave that you never go in Turtle Rock?
Yeah, it's. I can't remember if it's off to the right of the Pokey room. I think it might be off to the right of the, like, just below the Crystal Roller room.
Oh yeah.
I think is where it is. Maybe.
There's another room that
Maybe it's the top right of the first room. I can't remember which one it
Okay,
is.
now that we're talking about useless room, okay, I want to know, how do you get to the room with money and Misery Mire? Because when you go at the switch when you're going to Vitreous, there's a room with roller, money, in the dark. If you tell me right now go there, I don't even know how to go there.
I would assume it has to do with that north passage, but I actually don't know either. Now that you mention it.
Well, I might go check that after this race. I'm intrigued now. So far, boat runners. Oase just picking up his Buttersword, and boat runners are gonna be doing a bit of a switcheroo.
Yeah. And of course, leaving all the same locations unchecked, because we still have as much of Pod as we can do bowless. We still have Catfish, and we still have Spike Cave that we have not seen at all yet.
And Smoke giving me advice here. It's in the basement with the crystal switch to the north. So thank you for the knowledge.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, even when you do crazy modes like crossroad entrance, Kisanity, it's this room you never need to go there. And Mire is such an optimized dungeon that you don't stray away and wander around.
Yeah.
Ten more arrows for Oase. Silver arrows that he cannot shoot because where's the bow?
We're now separated by 1 arrow between our runners.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how Zheal has 39 arrows, actually. I guess, is there single arrow drop from enemies?
No, but it's more, oh, maybe. No. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I was like, maybe it's more efficient with his arrow, but I just realized you cannot shoot them. So.
You cannot shoot arrows, yeah. Either way.
Oh, it's time to go check the VOD for the arrow.
Yeah, but a single arrow.
You're right back, guys.
The single arrow doesn't get you 39.
Yeah.
The single arrow gets you 36.
Oh, but it sounds like a difference of just. Oh yeah, it's just 1. That's weird. Oh yeah, that's. There's somebody.
Thief, right? Thieves.
Thief.
Okay. Yeah.
On his way to.
When he went to check pedestal.
Yeah, on his way to pedestal. Not only did he lose a bit of time, he lost an arrow. And what if he is 1 arrow short for Ganon?
With 44 arrows, I think that's a little contrived. 44 silver arrows, we're not going to use those. We're not going to use half of those. We're not going to use 3/4 of those.
Maybe if you miss all your shots on Lalmolas and, well, you have Butter Sword. I'm trying hard here, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, pedestal was checked earlier, like once we got the book at the 5-minute mark already, almost, and it was a maximum health increase, so we're not gonna see that. I'm a bit bummed because I've been commentating a few races already in this tournament, and I haven't seen a pedestal seed yet from the races I've casted.
You know, V29's been relatively fair in a lot of... Ooh, almost takes a fall down the middle hole there.
Yeah, that's the worst hole, like of all the possible hole. This one is the worst because it's the deeper one.
Yeah. But no, I've really enjoyed the V29 logic, and I know a couple people who had sort of who had learned Randomizer, but hadn't really been that into it because it never really seemed intuitive. V29 just seems that little bit more intuitive that a lot of people have been coming back to Randomizer, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a fair version of the Randomizer. Every seed can be different. Before, I think in V28, personally, I thought there was always like you had always to dip a dungeon, or super crazy greedy play would work. But now it's like sometimes it's sped, sometimes you have to dip a pendant, sometimes you don't have. I like it. It's random.
Yeah.
And coffee break time for Waze. Yep. I don't know what's the national drink of Ecuador. I think it's coffee. More than tea there.
Oase is setting up the death warp. So not taking so much of a coffee break, instead taking a pain time.
Oh yeah. Enjoying those hits probably.
Take one more? No, I'm not going to take another hit. Can't blame him for that.
Oh yeah, play like going to one art. It's a gamble because if you get it, then it's like just right there.
Well, I'm about to say it's not that much of a gamble because with blue mail it would take 4 hits to die, but it's still something that it would take 2 hits to die. But taking 2 hits is definitely still something that could happen, and is just sort of you'd rather just take that little bit of safety. For most runners, you'd rather take that little bit of safety than try to be overly efficient.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna see Spiral Cave also from Oase here, so no Spike Cave yet for any of the runners. So both of them are, after the Spiral Cave check, are going to be at the exact same place in their logic.
Yeah, so I would expect to see the pod play from at least one of the runners, if not both of them. It's your greatest chance for where progression is going to be at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Could very easily be the other glove. Would not be surprised to see something like literally first chest Titan's mitts and have that be what's going on here.
But let's see if Oase is going to go all the way back up for the Spike Cave, because leaving this behind, it bit a lot of people in the past. And he's not opting. It's going to take too long for him, and he's piecing out.
I'd forgotten that Zheal hadn't checked these two locations yet, so...
Oh, and it looks like he
might be doing it. It looks
no,
like
he
he
has
is going...
Oh.
He is indeed doing it.
But he doesn't have the mirror.
You don't need the mirror
okay.
for Spike Cave.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I thought you needed the mirror. No. Yeah, and I think that's a smart play here. Leaving one place behind, like...
Spike Cave is actually very interestingly designed because it has the same requirements as lower Dark World access. In it needs the gloves and the hammer, but it's not as obvious about it because of the fact that, of course, in the vanilla game you have to be able to use this warp without the hammer.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised it doesn't have a rock on top of it because of it would have sort of prepared the people for the future. But hey, that's a different thing about design altogether.
True, and he has a lot of option here. Blue cane, cape, everything leads to this cape, and he gets 20 rupees for it.
And Zheal is also making the
too.
same play.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that neither runner decided to do Catfish over Spike Cave, but hey.
We might see that right now.
It becomes either pod or Catfish. Which one you do first is largely irrelevant. I would expect pod to probably be the first play.
Mm-hmm.
Catfish is just so out of the way at this point.
Oh yeah, but the only thing is, you don't want, like, if Catfish has, you're thinking, oh, what if Catfish or Spike Cave has the bow, then if I'm heading into pod without the bow, then I will lose a lot of time. But
well, and that depends a little bit on what you're comfortable with. If you know the potion glitch, you may not even need the, like, you can't complete pod, but it's less of an issue because you can still get all of the progression that would be in there other than whatever was on Helmasaur.
Yeah, but I don't think any runners have potion right now. They got bottles, but never potion inside of it.
I thought they had a red potion. Pretty sure they have a red potion.
True, from Ice Cave.
Yeah.
From Ice Cave. Alright, yeah. Yeah, and it's obviously a better play because there's more location you can go to.
So I'm not saying that we will see a potion glitch. Okay, so as Chad had called out earlier, Zheal had not done Ice Rod Cave yet and is going to do that now. We'll be relieved to see that Ice Rod Cave did not cause him any time loss in this seed.
Mm-hmm. Well, relief or a bit frustrated that he has to go now. Since he still doesn't have the... Oh!
Did I call it or did I call it?
You called it.
Could have had those since we entered Dark World 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, and now anybody that did this before would have made a more efficient mountain. And now suddenly you can enter. Well, they don't have any medallions right now, so they can enter Total Rock and Mr. Mire.
But that being said, Mire has this tendency to put the medallion so I would not be surprised to see Bombos in this shed.
Oh yeah, it's always there.
Because Mire likes to do that. Mire's like, oh yeah, you think you can't do me? Well, here's 300 rupees and here's 20 rupees. So you still can't do me. Ha!
Yep, and you can do Checkerboard Cave without the mirror.
And of course, Zheal started from Link's house and went straight to Catfish.
Mm.
We'll see if how much that matters, because it may be, depending on what Catfish has, this could actually be very important that he did decide to do this first.
Yep.
Oase,
And
on the
Oase-
other hand, is going to Ice Palace.
Yeah. I think it's a nice choice. It's a crystal. Although you have a hookshot cave open to you at this point, so there's a lot
Yeah,
more
I'll have
items
Dark Death
there.
Mountain, but Dark Death Mountain you sort of want to avoid at the moment until you're going to do Turtle Rock.
Exactly.
1 rupee, and Zheal decides to pick up his 1 rupee because he worked for that 1 rupee.
Yeah, and previously Oase had a lot of money problems. So now every time he sees money, he's like, he remembers the time he was poor and he had to dig through Hyrule to find money, and now you can enjoy a FT life.
And Zheal, instead of fluting to 5, is just going to walk up here and take this way to pod. I'm not actually... This might even be faster. I actually don't know the time difference in these.
For me, just looking at it, I think it's a bit slower, but
it's also less menuing because you don't have to go and get your hammer out. It's you don't have boots, so you can't hammer dash. So you have to hammer a whole bunch of pegs. It's hard. That's why I say it's hard to say. It's probably the same amount of screen transitions. I think might even be 1 less screen transition.
It's yeah, maybe. I still believe it's not, but maybe we go time it later, or
just not worry about it because
Yeah.
once again, I don't think it's almost definitely not a difference of more than 5 seconds.
oh yeah, that's almost irrelevant. But I've seen close races before.
Yep. Don't forget that key, Oase. You need that key.
Bomb jump time. And he gets it first try. And Zheal's gonna get his gloves. Probably won't be doing the potion glitch to explore more of the dungeon, and probably will do a bit of the same that Oase did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, off he goes. There's only so much reason to once you do get that big progression item.
That's true. But could be a big thing if the medallions are inside the pod, you know?
The medallion, the mirror, who knows?
Sometime in races you have to take some gambles.
Yep.
Zheal making a good play right now from our knowledge, not going into the Mire area.
Yeah. Or at least not a poor play. We don't know if Dark Death Mountain may actually be the right play in this case.
Yeah. But I mean, in correlation to the race right now.
Yeah. He's not losing anything by not going to Mire first.
Exactly. And depending on what they find here, it might save in time.
Yep.
I didn't count the items count in this, but that's at least 1 here. I think there's already 2. And yet no progression.
Big key in the first chest there. No, yeah, so we've got 2 small keys to find still.
Yeah, well, not that they need it.
No, not really. I like the nice little hookshot clip you can get into that staircase there. Can help out with your speed.
I've seen that before, and I've attempted a few times, and I never got it. But I couldn't say I did it a lot. But I just
I discovered it by accident one day because I was just using hookshot to cancel my momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I hookshot into the staircase. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this ice is when you're just on not boots. It's very tricky to get in these stairs. But what I like the most is when I get boots. Running into them. It's the best. But no boots for runners here. So and let's see if Zheal does the same route. Oh,
Whoops.
that happens.
The problem is now you have to get it a second time.
Yeah, and
there we
chips
go.
away at arts. So yeah, Ice Palace is an interesting dungeon in the way that there is a lot of different way to approach it when you do the bomb jump, and you don't get a key in the first few chests. Interesting to see if Zheal is gonna make a different routing choice. Oase went straight south here.
Also, not getting many magic drops yet, which is also very interesting because that could cause some problems here.
Yeah.
There's the bow.
You need the magic to break.
Yeah, you need a full magic bar at this point.
I think if you have like full sword beams, you don't need the full magic bar, but their hearts are also low. So
well, and you also need to yeah. If you know how to do this, the sword beams, I'm not sure how difficult that is to execute either.
At least they have like a fairy well. We might see a fairy well play here from Oase, or maybe he's very confident with his ability to not die.
Well, the bigger problem is that there's only 5 magic pots. Oh, actually, only 2 magic pots. Oase, you can't do this. I don't think. I don't. Is he gonna get half magic from this? He is. So he needs sword beams though, and there's his recognition of whoops.
Oh, oopsie.
Like,
I think you can exit this door if you.
You can, but then the problem is then you're just going to be farming enemies for a magic drop and hoping for the best.
There's one.
There's one. He may as well have picked up that rock below him. That will spawn 4 blue jellies.
Yeah.
Because the biggest problem is that, of course, this cold stair is going to have a small key, so we can't get into that room to the right there now. Oh no, wait. Where's the? We should have one more small key. What chest haven't we done yet? We're short 2 small keys.
That's very true. Tea room? Ice tea room? No, that was a bow.
That was the bow, yeah.
Maybe
did we skip the tongue pull room?
Yeah,
did we skip the tongue pull room up here?
Yeah. Oh, that's a very unfortunate situation right now. Also, Ice Palace is very freezing, so.
Oh, he forgot. Oh, he forgot the. Okay, that one.
Zheal trying to bomb a wall that does not. But now here, guaranteed magic drop, and it's gonna be.
Fulfill his magic. I hope it does.
It's just short of one.
So he has to do more farming for more magic still. Or something similar.
Yeah, but maybe the 4 jellies, as you mentioned, under the second rock would be okay. Oh my god, and he's taking damage. Oh.
Fortunately, these are not magic. These are bombs and an arrow. I know this because I literally I had to do the vanilla Ice Palace route the other day because I ran out of magic, and I had not done the bomb jump, so I did not have the block down there, so I actually had to get full magic, then route around because I had Canister Mario, but if he's Canister Mario, I wouldn't have enough magic left.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Oh, and the 4 jellies don't respawn. Oh my god. That's gonna be very frustrating here. And Zheal opting to not finish, realizing I don't have magic and I don't want to lose time, and he opting to he's gonna come back later.
Yep.
Because with the bow you can clear pod now.
Yep, clear pod. We don't need to clear Eastern, of course, because we already found all 3 items in Eastern.
Yeah, he gets it. All right. Well, what do you think is more efficient? What Oase did and he's never got to come back, or what Zheal is gonna do and he will have to come back? I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I'd say doing it right away, doing what Zheal did right away is probably more efficient. I'm not sure exactly how much health or exactly where his
Oase got buddied here.
Where his magic was, because if you do have enough magic to just use 5 magic pots to get a full refill, you know you're going to get those 5 magic pots.
Yeah.
But if you do not know you're going to get those 5 magic pots, then it changes a little bit.
Oase spent a bit more time than he hoped in this dungeon, but now he's cleared and he's never gonna come back here again.
And another important note about this, of course, is that pod is the other 5/6 crystal.
Oh yeah.
With Ice Palace being one of them, so that does mean that Oase is probably going to do the exact same play here to pod because there's not really good reason for that to not be your next play. And he'll be able to do Pyramid Fairy immediately after that.
Very nice observation here. And because after this dungeon, Fat Fairy might be the only thing. Oh, they have the Smith chains now available because the big key, the Titan Smith opened a lot of things too. I would not be surprised to start seeing medallions pop up in pod and.
Yeah, we can only go so much further without medallions, but there's definitely also lots of locations that they could be in. Of course, boots can still show up. Boots, of course, we are boots locked out of desert, but that doesn't necessarily matter. Although it could also very much matter. It could very well be that we were talking about the taking a key from the back of desert. It could very well be that's locking a progression item, and one of our runners could have been even further ahead.
Yes, exactly.
It's a little unlikely because we've sort of found all of our major items. Like Mire would have been about the only thing that they could have really found like that would have been that would have
right
changed
now,
routing at this point.
The runners are in Mirror, Ice Rod, Medallion Go mode.
Yeah. Now that's not really the best feeling to have because Mirror can be anywhere that's not Swamp Palace. Well, there's a lot of places that are locked by the Mirror.
Yes.
But the Mirror can be in so many places and it only locks Swamp Palace as a dungeon. The Ice Rod can be anywhere that's not on Trinex. And the medallions can be anywhere that's not in the dungeons that lock them.
And the boots.
There's the boots.
So now, Desert Palace becomes a play.
Yeah, Desert Palace immediately comes into play. As I was just talking about. Probably won't see that play too quickly, given the fact that we don't have the Mirror yet. So Desert Palace requires us to sit through the cutscene again to enter it, and it's a pendant.
But Oase still unsure that it's not a pet seed, but let's think. Is there something that would make the seed impossible to be a pet seed right now? For Oase's point of view.
This could vary. I already basically said that all 4 of the items that we require, or sorry, all 3 to 4, depending on if we have multiple medallions required, could be on pedestal.
Oh yeah.
Because they could all be anywhere except for the dungeons that they lock.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I was right. We don't need Misery Mire, so just so just the 3 items that we need for Go mode, whatever they are, whatever the medallion is.
Yeah, but Oase doesn't. He still doesn't know that it's not a pet seed for sure. So that might be like somewhere in his head a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It gives his pendant dungeons a little bit more value in his mind for the moment.
Yeah, and Mr. Mire is also the green one, so a bit more, even more value out of it.
If we ever find Bombos.
Yeah.
So you have to find Bombos before you can dip Mire.
That's very true. And we don't know what the Turtle Rock one is. And here's the Mirror.
There's the Mirror.
That's something the runners probably didn't want to see because now it means Swamp Palace is in play, and if you can go mode this dungeon, it saves a lot of time.
And of course, Zheal making the heads-up play here. I noticed. I'm pretty sure Zheal has not opened the vanilla big key chest. But given that he only has 1 small key, knows that chest will just have another small key in it, even if he did go there.
True. Very good call.
Similar note to so for instance, I don't think we've seen the Harmless Hellway either here, and the Harmless Hellway also would have to be a small key in this situation because...
Oh yeah, it's a key that looks a key.
Yeah.
That's a very nice things that you see from these runner at 3-1 that they are able to. They know the dungeon so well that you know. So, like, if a specific item appears somewhere, that it means the key must be somewhere else, and that's what you get to see from the. And like I think it was is doing the same thing. It's gonna do the same thing.
Nice turtle room. Not sure it was the best turtle room, but I consider any turtle room where you never have to re-knock over a turtle a pretty darn good turtle room.
Oh yeah. Turtle. If I do no major glitch, this is where I die most of the time. The turtle room just brutal to me.
Yeah.
It looks like an innocent room, but when you're not equipped enough, it can be hard.
Yeah, when your when landing your first master sword spin to kill 3 or 4 of them actually becomes very important.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice cancel on the fireball there, and second butter sword hit will take down Helmasaur.
Now, where do you go if you're Zheal? Do you go and clear ice with your full magic, or you wait a little bit more and you go to swamp with the Mire you just got?
Good question. Because there's also Dark Death Mountain on the board as well.
Yeah, but you want to wait at least until you get a medallion and or fire ice rod before you go there.
Probably. It depends. It's always an interesting question because I always like I don't mind doing a quick Dark Death Mountain, but we are gonna see Zheal go back and finish ice.
Mm-hmm. Since like you said already before, since it's unlocked the Fat Fairy, it's something you want to be get available as soon as possible.
Yeah, and this basically means that Zheal is definitely going to go straight for the Fat Fairy after this. It's a little bit harder to say what Oase is going to do. I would expect Oase to probably do a swamp clear and then do the well, might see that from both players.
Yeah, I think it's the better route is doing swamp, and then when you get out of swamp, you're just there, go up to the house and go to the pyramid.
Yeah. Heck, we might even see, depending on how these runners feel, we may even see something silly like a Smith chain into Swamp Palace, just as that turns into very effective routing, lets you get all those checks out of the way, including probably Bombo's tablet along with that.
Yeah, that would be the most efficient thing to do, but
it's also slower than just going for the dungeons first, dungeons always strategy.
Yeah, because right now, since they've been to Dark World, it's been pretty much a dungeon unlocks another one.
Yeah. And Zheal just didn't quite go high enough to trigger the first Stalfo, so just resets his bomb trick.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the pot sometimes doesn't push the Stalfos for some mysterious reason, and it's always.
Well, no, he didn't go up high enough to.
Oh,
he
never fall down. Yeah, never fell down. Nice bomb setup here without a sword. I like it from Zheal. And here, let's see what no spit chains.
So yeah, no Smith chain. We're gonna just go ahead and probably straight into Swamp. We could also just see straight into Pyramid Fairy as well, as mentioned before.
It's 50-50.
Because there's a lot of people who don't really want to do a full clear of Swamp because it's so much faster in Go mode. But we are going to see Swamp first.
Yeah, but since you are missing 3 key items at least here.
We're going to see K45.
Yeah.
South of Grove, everyone's favorite mirror location.
Well, there's a lot of other great mirror locations, like Spectacle
Rock
holding half magic right now.
Yeah.
Half magic would have been good for runners. Both of them would have saved a lot of time in Ice Palace if they had it.
So our ledge having a 50 rupee drop for us.
Yeah, at this point you don't need
And very nicely done by Zheal there. Getting the 4 hits on Cold Stare to just immediately take him down. And get that one small key.
I'm a bit wondering, I think Oase is a clearly better runner than me, and I've never seen this route before for doing the Smith chain. I usually would think about going into village, but maybe it's faster doing the way he did it.
I don't. Well,
because he could run for the most part.
Yeah, interesting. I wouldn't think so, but maybe it is just a little bit faster, just being able to mirror and flute away or save and quit, whichever way he goes after he gets the chest here.
Mm-hmm. And let's see if we're gonna see the same play from Zheal that's heading towards the same portal.
Zheal, I could definitely see going straight for Pyramid Fairy play, because as mentioned before, seems to be there it is, straight for the Pyramid Fairy play.
But yeah, you gotta commit to the choices you made. And powder here is convenient.
The best powder location.
It's very convenient.
Best. No, you don't want to go. Well, I guess you could take the chest with you and then just might save and quit after he gets the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Is that far enough over? It is, okay.
Oh, and Zheal has the fastest route available to him because he did Agahnim earlier.
Of course, both runners did Agahnim because it's sort of hard to get to the Dark World without a glove.
Well, you can always out of bound.
Yeah, but that's not allowed, so... Oh, there's Bombos. So, Mire check is now in logic.
Oh, the worst. Well, we don't know if it might be Turtle Rock also, but...
It might be Turtle Rock also, yes. So he's not saving and quitting. I am a little interested. We might be going to Graveyard Ledge. That might be the route that he's taking here.
Oh, Fat Fairy being the best boss of all time.
Not surprisingly. There's so many locations open to us that I am not surprised. Typically, when you've got so many options when Pyramid Fairy is available, it's often like it's rarely ever feels like it's the play.
Yeah. This Bumbo's tablet might be like a burden for Oase. If it ends up that it's a bust, it might bring him on a wrong trail here if progression is somewhere else and he decides to go for it. But it seems like he's going to go for the safe play of Swamp.
Most likely. Once again, could still be his Pyramid Fairy play first.
Oh yeah. He needs that $40. And he's not going for it.
Yeah. Going for Swamp. Now, we'll see what he does after Swamp as well, because Bombos Tablet and Pyramid Fairy are both still in play for him. Zheal, of course, having Pyramid Fairy as well as that whole chain that we just saw Oase do.
Yep.
And of course, both of those contingent on whatever the heck else we find throughout the Swamp Palace.
Yeah, definitely. Like I could see Oase going Death Mountain after that, since he has one of the medallions. Even if he knows it's the Mire one, he doesn't know if it's the Turtle Rock one. It could be so.
Exactly. You know, you could have access to. You could have the medallion you need for Turtle Rock.
And
you're getting to that point where the ice rod's you're now at this point where the ice rod's the only thing you're really looking for. You sort of like to see the medallions to know that you don't need them, but the ice rod's the main thing that you're looking for at this moment.
Yeah, and I think it would be pretty clever to go that mountain and at least verify what do you need, because you're not gonna, if you find the ice rod and you still need the medallion, you need to keep checking. But if you don't know what you need, well, you can't stop checking.
Yeah. We've gotten to that point for Oase that like it might have actually been with Bombos there. It might have been a better play to go up Death Mountain, but that's very hard to call in the moment, and is even harder to say without like that one's validated so much by where items ended up being in the seed.
Oh yeah, because if he knows, say that Bombos is Turtle Rock, and he finds the
ice rod in here.
Ice rod in here before this left side, maybe you don't go for left side, but now you have to think, oh, do I need to do left side even if you find the ice rod?
To be fair, I always try to point this out, is that your routing in Swamp Palace is very much a gamble on where the big key is, as well as based on whatever your current state is.
Mm-hmm.
I personally almost always make the gamble of going for Argus first, because I make this gamble that the big key is on Argus. and therefore my fastest way of clearing Swamp Palace is to do the back first and then do left side after I defeat Argus.
Oh yeah, because then you would have to go back anyway.
Exactly. So your routing in Swamp Palace, when you're not in go mode, is always a bit of a gamble on where the big key is. And a lot of runners, I don't think, necessarily realize that, is that there is a time, doing left side first is not always the fastest way to full clear Swamp Palace. And it's an important distinction to make. Did he just flood the key? He just flooded the key.
Oh my god. Oh.
You don't need to leave. You're good. You just need to leave the dungeon, Oase.
Okay, yeah.
You don't need
doesn't he need to leave like a screen transition?
No. So with V29, I believe just V29, they made the change that leaving the dungeon unfloods that room.
Okay. Good for him.
But just that room. If you leave the screen, it unfloods the entire dungeon. Well, it unfloods the dam as well. This room that he's in right now always stays flooded.
Okay.
After you flood it the first time.
Okay, because yeah, one time, but it might have been 28. I flooded the key, and I exited. I came back and it was still the water, and I was really pissed.
No, yeah. See, there we are.
So yeah, saves time to go to the switch room first, but yeah, sometimes the mental mistake of just like I'm here, I'm flipping the switch, and there is you lose time.
And so the one gamble that can affect is some people like to get that small key on their first dip if they're not, even if they're going to do Argus first. But it's not, you need to make sure that you don't bother flooding the room as well, because if you flood the room, that's just a waste of time, because you're going to have to flood it again after you beat Argus. So you don't want to flood the left side until you're going to do the left side.
Yeah. Well, now you flooded it twice, so... Hey, we've got to see an interesting scene. We saw a 4-tile room already, 3 flooding. We're going to see 3 flooding. Oh, well, maybe not, because Zheal is opting to skip.
Yeah, I was not paying any attention at all to what Zheal pulled out.
Zheal got a 20 rupees inside of of the boss fight, and I'm not sure if he has like the map and compass either.
I was about to say, like, this could very well be the map, compass, and big key combined between the 3 locations.
And we're gonna find out the hard way here with Jose. It's gonna be very painful for him if it's indeed the map and compass.
Yeah, but there is an item, so that will either Zheal has mismarked or is
2 items.
Just making the gamble, but it's the right gamble at least.
Yeah, and the big key must be in the big chest. Never to be opened ever again.
Or Zheal just I didn't pay it. Maybe Zheal
I don't
did
think I
have
saw
the big
key.
Now we're gonna get our checkerboard cave check here most likely, and I am a little bit interested to see what else Zheal does while he's in the area, because of course this is 2 pendant dungeons over here. So we might just see checkerboard cave and then he leaves, or we might see one or both of these. Or sorry, he doesn't have bombos yet. He can't get in.
No, he cannot do it.
But he can do Desert Palace.
Oh!
There's the ice rod.
That is the ice rod.
And you're gonna need to go a slightly different way there, Zheal. You got this.
That might be it, but Zheal doesn't have any of the medallions so for him it's still not go mode.
Yeah, but he'll go straight to Dark Death Mountain at this point and find out what medallion he needs so that he can go into go mode as soon as he finds a medallion.
Correct.
There's the big key.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's the compass or the map, because I haven't caught all the chests, but I think...
Yeah. Still a pretty big gamble on Zheal not to do it when you leave 2 items behind, but it will pay off for him.
Yep.
And considering Oase had to do it twice, it's a lot of time saved for him in the respect of the race that we're having right now.
Yeah, the fact that because that first room stays flooded, so Zheal, if Zheal does make the play to go back, which I don't expect we're going to see in this race, but if Zheal does decide to make the play to go back, it's not going to be of any. It's a lesser time loss because of how the flooding now affects Swamp Palace.
now Zheal is in a very good position, I think, finding the ice rod before the medallion, because now, what if it's Bumbos, okay? And Mr. Oase goes here and sees, oh, I can enter this.
Yeah. If Oase just does Bombo's tablet, or even gets Bombo's tablet and just straight up goes to Death Mountain at this point, yeah, exactly. He could be... It
is in fact the Bumbos we just saw. So if he goes here, he sees, oh, I can get into there. Maybe he will gamble that the fire ice rod isn't there. And
now, which one was Bombos? Was it purple chest?
Purple chest, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! I think it's the bat.
The bat, okay.
And the powder is at the smiths.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get,
Owase's not in trouble yet, because he is. I wouldn't say Owase's in trouble until he puts off Checkerboard Cave for a while, but he could very well put off Checkerboard Cave for a while. And of course, because Zheal did not find Bombos before coming up here,
yeah,
it's not like Zeal's in go mode, because Zheal still needs to find out where Bombos is.
Yeah, but Zheal doesn't have a lot of other checks left. So, I think, like, right now where he is...
Neither does Oase, though. And so
Oase could go in Desert, could go in Mire.
Well, it could, but so could have Zheal, so...
No, Zheal cannot go in Mire, he doesn't have the Bombos.
Oh, right.
But probably Oase is gonna check Cave before.
He won't go into... I don't expect that he'd go into either Desert or Mire before checking Checkerboard, yeah.
Yeah,
and Zeal's going straight to Smith Chain here by the looks of it. So
Zheal is about to be go mode, and now it looks like Oase is heading somewhere in town.
This is going to be Graveyard Ledge, I imagine.
Mm.
Oh, and probably Boots locations looped in with them.
Yep.
Which Zheal is also doing. I was wrong. Zheal is not doing the Smiths, but is doing the Graveyard Ledge and both Boots locations. But he may put that right back to the Smiths afterwards. Oh, look, we found the arrow.
And does that put our runner back on the same... No, it's still one away. They had catch up.
One away again, yep. We were the same until we found that arrow, and now we're going to be the same again because Oase is about to pick up that arrow.
The perfect sync of the arrows. Yeah, Oase really needs to go to the Mire area first, but the problem is, if he go to Mire area, oh no, there's no problem. Yeah, he still doesn't know that it's Bumbos for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's the one thing that could hurt him, is if he decides to do something else once he finds the ice rod before he just goes and checks Turtle Rock. I don't expect that to be the case, but it definitely could be. Now, where is Zheal gonna go? I expect there's a good chance it will be back to 3 to do the Smith Chain, but we will see.
And I don't think there's any more choice for him. I mean, he could do Mire too now, but I know he can't. No, so yeah.
Nice spin speed there.
Good optimization. So there's gonna be the next deciding moment for Oase here. Because if he finds it in like 1 or 2 minutes after, there's still time to get the seed back on track in Ganon's Tower and execution. But the more he will lose time looking for it, the more
there's a good chance that Oase is going to go straight for it. Did he never do Catfish?
Oh my god.
He never did Catfish, I don't think. I think that's where we're going now. Because I feel like Zheal did Catfish already, right?
Yes.
I believe? Yes, okay. Right, before he did Pod.
Yeah, and like, after that, where do you go? You have to flute to TR or Mire, and then...
Yeah.
That's
so Zheal definitely a little bit ahead overall here. We're going to see how much that matters. Also, Zheal, having already been up to the Death Mountain area and having found the red melon in...
Once you see the Bumbos, he's go mode. And he's only one dungeon away. It's Turtle Rock, and then it's GT. So
Yeah. But what I was going to get to is Oase is not going to get that red mail from Hookshot Cave, which probably won't matter at all.
Oh, he makes the right play.
Oase making the play, as I'm not surprised to see. So we are like right neck and neck.
Wow, that's gonna be an interesting race now. Okay, I was scared he was gonna go for he was gonna get baited into TR, but
sorry, it should be neck and neck. We don't know what Oase is gonna do 100%.
Oh, but
yet.
After you get the bumbos here, you have like I think you gamble TR at this point.
I assume he will as well. Just basically
because you gotta know what you're looking for.
The same thing that Zheal did basically.
Yeah.
So I see no reason why he doesn't, but I'm not gonna put that on him until he goes to 1, which I expect is happening. Switch to flute, go to 1.
Yeah, that's gonna be a neck and neck race. It's execution from here now.
Yep. Execution. Zheal has the benefit of red mail, and other than that, we are basically dead even. Because I don't think Oase is going to get that red mail. And also of note, neither runner decided to go get half magic. Not a huge deal. You have Butter Sword. Trinex is easy as heck with Butter Sword. You can miss most of your shots and still be just fine.
Yeah. And Oase doesn't have any more potion. I think he used his red potion during the coldest stair fight.
He did.
And he doesn't have a magic, even though he has the powder. That's gonna help. He cannot have anything in his bottle, but he has a B. Or
was red mail in here? Red mail wasn't here. Oase is gonna pick it up.
Wow.
I can't remember which one it was in. It might have been in here actually.
Oh, slowing down a bit here, missing the glitch with the hook shot.
Yep.
I think if Oase lose this race, it will have been to. It might have come down to a small execution error, like this flooding of the key is going to bite him very hard.
Yeah, the flooding of the key is the biggest thing, because I would say that most of the time when our runners have sort of come together, Oase's been the one that has sort of been slightly ahead.
Yes.
But the flooding of the small key and the search for magic in Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the search of the magic is pretty much nullified by the fact that Zheal
double dipped.
Get out and come back in. And Oase now in the know.
That didn't hit. Okay, we're good. You'll notice the mistake before it really cost him.
Yeah. Do you think if you're Oase, and you know you've been some of the mistake, and do you think when he goes in Ganon's tower, he's gonna have to gamble the left side if he gets a key?
I don't know. I wouldn't say so. I don't think he's gonna think that he's routed this poorly enough that like, as much as I always hear people say I'm gonna gamble tile room type of things. Yeah, I know that's not what you were asking, but I don't feel like anything where you're entering Ganon's tower sub 150, which of course both these runners will be entering sub 150. Necessarily requires you to change your strategy, because typically you just sort of have to go, unless you know what your opponent's strategy is in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, but if I look at that like a runner's perspective, okay, the seed was a bit linear except for the Titansmith, right? And the Titansmith, Oase did not go for it in the first, like when it was available. He did some checks before it. So since he did the flooding of the key, he must be feeling like he might be in trouble, because it's a good runner he's facing, like 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1, you know, like the runner is not that far away from you.
Yeah. No, and definitely will be. Oh, that's hopefully not going to be a huge issue. We will see how much of an issue that is.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, that'll be fine. It's always interesting, and that question, it does always become interesting to me either way, because I'm always a little interested to see what is your, how do you react to being behind? Do you start to make changes, or do you just go, I'll get it back with execution?
Well, if these runners want to do interview after that, it's going to be interesting to see like how they were feeling about their placement during the race.
Yeah.
And how they were feeling impacts what they do from now on.
Yeah. Because there have been, But what I was going to say on top of that was that I've seen a number of races that have that could have come down to Ganon's Tower execution. For instance, I've seen the big key and tile room, and both players did sort of standard strategy where you do the 2 on the right side, then you do full left side. But they both gambled tile room before they went to compass room. So something that was a gamble that could have gained time ended up just being a wash because both of them did the same gamble.
Oh yeah.
And that's always an interesting little situation that I like to look at, is that any gamble that you make can always, of course, be the same gamble that your opponent makes.
Oh, for sure.
Especially for gambles that are not hugely time dependent. So routing on Ganon's Tower is always really hard for me to say.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, some runners will do the left side all the time, even though no matter the situation, it's just the way they like it. So
yeah, and some runners just go ahead and do Dark Magician strats every time, and so on and so forth.
Because I know I've watched the race of Oase. I know Oase quite a bit from watching his race on the nightlies, and I've watched a bit of his tournament race. And in his previous race against GFE, he lost a lot of time because he forgot like the catfish, and then he was behind GFE, but he was able to come back because he gambled the right side of the Ganon Tower. So, and I know he doesn't do that generally. And so maybe he's gonna. If he does the same thing, we kind of know that he was fitting behind. Yeah,
exactly. There are things that you can see runners do where you go, they did that because they're behind. It's very hard to speculate on which ones they're going to do because of how every runner is a little bit different in exactly what kind of gambles are their flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I like watching. I like when you start watching runners more and more. Like if a runner you watch a lot of his races, you can start to see like his playstyle. And
zero cycle? We're getting the zero cycle play here.
Wow. Well,
there it is.
For the win here. And Oase needs to be careful here because he has only 2 arts and you take one. Oh! It's gonna go for the arts and the refill magic. Oh.
Turned right too soon.
That was close.
So probably gonna switch to fairy and get a hit an anti-fairy, depending on how confident he is in his Buttersword Trinex fight. His Buttersword Trinex fights are pretty straightforward. We need a small key. I forgot about this.
Yeah. Fortunately for him, it's on the first chest here, so
yep.
Doesn't have to worry about dying to a laser.
Yes, we are going to see a powdered fairy here. Just for that little bit of safety.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to die here. Like taking 3 seconds out to get this fairy, and then if you die, you have to go all the way back. It's unforgiving.
Exactly.
All right, so the Ganon's tower big key. What do you think it is?
Yeah, we were a little bit slow on that, but at least we're not on the speed gaming channels.
Yeah, it's not
I like 8. 8 is my location.
8 is your location? Okay. 17 is my go-to number.
Right. I like 8 both because so I enjoy it being in the firebar room in the first place in sort of standard routing, and then in the right side routing I actually don't mind it either, where it's the first Stolfos room item. Well, hello Mushroom. We really don't care about you right now.
Oh, and it looks like it's going left side for Zheal right now. So
right side. This is the right side.
Did I say left?
You did say left.
Okay, well I don't know my left and my right in English. Well, I think I know, but I always messed up. So I'm sorry. Sorry, chat, for lying to you. He's indeed going right side.
We're going to see how important this is. It may just be a matter of it's just a play that he's making. It's just... Because the nice part about the right side play is it helps you full clear everything other than tile room very effectively.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a lot slower, especially if you do that fire room fairly effectively. But of course, still slower. And if there's the big key,
there it is, number 5, I think, right?
Yes, that would be number 5. Interesting, they didn't bother opening the chest.
Well,
it could have also been a small. It could have also been a small key, but just going for the guaranteed small key and getting on his way.
Like the only thing I could see like you might want is half magic, and you don't, and you know where it is, and you have butter sword, so it's not really an issue.
Yeah.
All right, so if Oase doesn't go for the right side, he's in trouble even more.
Yeah. Yeah, if he does not make the right side play, this race is probably over. It will be to that degree. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's probably the race. Without a top of Ganon's tower death from Zheal type of thing, this is just so much of a time sink to go all the way through for that to be your second or third last item.
As much as I would like to hype this up, like, but everything is possible. 3-1 bracket. I don't think we're gonna see like
with
7.
Butter Sword, Red Mail, and
yeah.
There's just too much. There's too much helping Zheal. Unfortunately, that is probably the nail in the coffin, because Oase already needed to hope for a mistake from Zheal, most likely to catch up.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna stop the stream. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
We don't need to interview these runners. Everything's fine. We already know the results.
No, we're gonna watch the other end of the race.
No, anything could still happen.
Yeah.
As I said, as much as it's unlikely that we see something like a top of GT death, it happens on occasion. You have someone die on Aga too, and that could swap the lead.
Yeah. Everything is possible. Don't let your dreams be memes. But it'll take like the unluckiest of the luck for Zheal here for us to come back. And a nice execution here. We're gonna see on the bright side. We get to see what is on the render room here. I seen a clip yesterday of a race. Somebody got 4 pieces of heart here. Pretty hype.
That would be a good time. One full love in the rando room.
Not even. Oh.
How about 80 rupees?
Oh! Oh! Almost.
Only 65 rupees. Only 65.
That was so close. And yeah, Zheal not opening any chest. He's going fast, all the way up.
Yeah. I must say, you want that magic though.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually a little surprised you did not powder the.
Yeah, because he's on only 4 health right now, and there is no refill before Ganon.
I think he has a red potion still, maybe.
Oh yeah, might have still a red potion that the Cold Stare that was a use on Cold Stare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But with the amount of time that powder takes to get 2 fairies and effectively basically a full health refill.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little surprised he didn't do it, but he might have even forgotten he had powder for all we know, because he sort of got powder then was immediately in go mode.
Exactly, yeah. If Potter unlocked the bomb post and like before he forgot, I think he had maybe he forgot about the hook shot when he could have done it in Hera, so. But it's not the big, it's really not a big deal here, I think.
Probably would have had a 2 cycle there if Aga Prime had shot him a regular ball.
Yeah, that's a very, very good Aga fight nonetheless.
As fast as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Because he was set up to get that triple. Oh, that could be a problem, Oase. Yeah, I think he's just gonna wait and reset the room, wait for the torch to go out.
Get inked by Wallmaster, no biggie. I wonder if it would have been faster to exit the room and come back, or does the light?
I don't think that resets it, because similar to how the Ganon's Tower despawn glitch can happen, I think the torches stay lit when you leave rooms.
Yeah.
Just that so often we don't notice it.
All right, Ganon is on the table here.
Yep.
But the Butter Sword, it's pretty, Butter and Silver Arrows, it's a pretty easy fight.
Yeah.
Oh, taking damage here from the bat.
If he does have that red potion, he should drink it now. So I don't know if he doesn't have the red potion or if he's just saving it for later.
He has balls of steel. He doesn't care. Confident play right there.
Yeah, it's definitely very simple to not take any more hits in a silverless fight once you get past phase 2. So
Yeah.
will he get torch glitch as well? He will.
Might get a double here.
That
Nope.
can't be a double. You hit him into the edge with the first one. So we'll have to light the torch one more time. Sad day.
Oh!
That's not what you want to do, Zheal.
It was greedy from him if he had a potion, and
Yeah, we can't tell because the potion showing was empty, so it is possible that he did use the red potion at some point there.
I don't recall, but hey, we've got to see 4 title room. We've got to see double the swamp key,
Yep,
and now we got to see 3 Ganon fights.
yep. Especially since that was down to the last silver arrow. That was the entire Ganon fight.
Yeah. And now it's more relevant now even that powdering the two fairy in Ganon's Tower would have made him finish the seed earlier.
That's probably correct. He might have fallen off the edge anyways. Because he was behind Ganon. Ganon was in between. He was in between Ganon and so he might have been knocked backwards into the pit anyways. So that might have actually been a time save to not take the fairies, because it's shorter to die than it is to walk all the way around. Could have got a double there, but that's definitely. Come on, get a double. Do it.
And there it is.
Oh, there was no double left. I was not paying enough attention.
Yeah, it's true that if Oase or if either of these runners went the other way for the big key, this fall might have cost the game for him. But
yeah,
luckily for him, he's done. He's going into the 4-1 bracket
with an official SRTV time of 1:51:55.
That's so nice sounding of a time.
Not as almost as nice as 1:51:51, but you know.
Yeah, that's like butter to my hair, man.
But unfortunately, it's not what he got.
Yeah. 4 seconds too long. But we're not gonna hold grudges. Did great here, and
maybe Oase can give us 1:55:55.
Yeah, or you can wait a lot and give us 66, even though it's impossible because
that would be a time.
Yeah.
He could just go for 2:22:22 at that point.
Yeah, 166 is impossible. Yeah, all in all, Oase is not gonna be so much far behind. That's really that was pretty.
No, as we said, it was a real close race. Unfortunately, decided by a couple of mistakes by Oase, and of course the routing decision made there to not do the right side gamble.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a moment here, and I'm gonna see if we are going to get Zheal in here for an interview.
All right. We do not see the chest from Oase. Sometime when a runner know they are in second place, they will opt to go for open the latest chest and maybe do a swag net here. Although he doesn't have the swag net, so he's not gonna do it.
Hey there.
And I have pulled Zheal in.
Congratulations.
GG on that race.
Yeah, well, it was a race. Yeah.
It was a race. It was a great race, actually.
Oh yeah.
Was it?
It was a fantastic race.
Well, my execution was not that okay this time.
Well,
Was-
we'll talk about Oase's execution once he gets in here in about 2 minutes. But no, it was definitely a very close seed all the way through. You guys, of course, diverged regularly and came back, and every time you came back together, you guys were probably within about 30 seconds of each other.
Yeah, I thought we did. I did a lot of things I normally did not do. Like I checked Zora really, or like I checked Hobo very early, and so I have only 430 something rupees. And
Yeah.
I if I wanted to go up to Zora, I wanted to check Zora too. So I went to Sahasrara and checked that first and hoped for some rupees, and even was tempted to go into Eastern, but I found a pack of 100 and thought, yeah, let's go.
Here's Oase showing off dash cancels on his Ganon fight.
Always going for the strats, for the swag strategies. So yeah, this was a very close race. Like when you both finished Agahnim 1, you were both, I would say, 5 seconds difference.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like you got the sword, we got to see like the duet Agahnim kill, and then how did you process the seed and once you hit the Dark World?
How I
Like-
progressed the seed?
Yeah, well, like what was on your mind? Like how did you think like, okay, pod or your routing choices?
Well, the first thing was, of course, I went to Hype Cave and found the myths.
Yeah.
I thought with the myths I can go into Skullwoods. That's a fair choice. After Skullwoods, I did a mistake. I went to Death Mountain. I should have cleared Thieves down first, because since I had no mirror, and no flute, well, I had the flute after that. But I was so tunnel visioned by the flute. Actually, I wanted to turn in the flute and go to Death Mountain.
To be fair, that wasn't that much of a mistake, because really, I don't think there's a lot of difference on mirroring out of Skull Woods and activating your flute versus just going to do Skull Woods at that, or going to do Thieves Town at that point. I'm not sure it really makes a lot of difference. Anyways,
but after Skullwoods, I went to Thieves Town, and I would have saved time with the walk all around the forest again, and go into the Dark World. It would have been faster if I would have gone from Skullwoods to Thieves Town and then reset and then go to
because you didn't have the Titans before you went back there, right? Anyways, Oase has finished with an official SRTV time of 1:56.21.
Nice.
Yeah. Not so far behind, unfortunately. Making some clutch decision at the end that really hurt. With
the biggest mistake was, of course, to not bring any magic to Ice Palace.
Oh well, Zheal had lots of fun with that.
Yeah, well, Zheal.
Oase had lots of fun with that. You made the more prudent choice of just saying I'm coming back later. Oase farmed for magic. He farmed the red jellies in the room before Cold Stare for magic.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
Yeah.
No, it would not be.
I think maybe it took him a little more time than you did, just going out and thinking, okay, I'm gonna go back with magic. He wasted a lot of time trying to get the magic, and
yeah, my first thought was, is it enough magic if I pick up the last small key if I find it, and maybe in the big chest or something, and then go to the room right of the room before Cold Stare. I think there are 2 pots plus 2 pots on before Cold Stare. That's only half a bar, and I think I lacked more than that.
Well,
and I had to go already, so I thought, yeah, I can clear POD and come back later.
Yeah, you would have had access to 5 pots before, because you could have gone into the side room as well.
There was another problem. I'm really bad when it comes to where is magic in dungeons.
Right.
Like you probably noticed it in the spike room in Ice Palace. I laid a bomb on the right side.
Oh yeah, the bomb on the wall that has nothing.
Yeah, I thought there's no room. I don't know a room there, but I thought like, hey, maybe there's a familiar room to the one in Skullwood.
I think the room there is the one that you jump down the room, the big key door. Is that small key? It's small key in there with the red jellies that's blocked off. You can jump down there, fall into a pot, and get to a fairy room.
Oh yeah, okay. fair.
And I think that's probably the main secret room in there, because I think every dungeon has sort of a secret room somewhere.
I'm gonna see if Wesley wants to come for the interview.
Yeah.
And of course, the only real gamble in terms of ignoring an item was not going back into Swamp Palace. I also felt a bit behind after all the mistakes I did. So
we were wondering about that at first, but it was just, what, 70 rupees over there, was it? Something like that? It was just
only one item.
It was 2 rupees.
Yeah.
It was 10 arrows. It was 10 arrows and 20 rupees, actually, I think is what it was.
Oh, was it 2 items, really?
It was 2 items.
Oh, I would have actually gone back if I would have known that it's 2 items.
I had a feeling you might have mistracked with it being 2 items. Because I'm like 2 items is a lot for someone to pass up.
Usually I don't gamble 2 items.
That was a big gamble on your part here, even though you didn't know. But fortunately, it wasn't not too much. And yeah, and Ganon's Tower. Do you always go for this right side, or was that like a?
Yeah, that was my normal
decision.
Tower.
Yeah, so as soon as you get, as long as you get a key, that's what you're doing.
Right. And I get a key before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
that. I go right side.
That was a decision that put the you were ahead of Oase heading into Ganon's Tower, but he also did standard strat. So he did first 2 chests, but then went full left side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I would think that if you did not go for this side first, or if it went the same side as you, maybe the Ganon fall would have cost you the game.
Yeah, the Ganon death might have been the difference there.
That was pretty unfortunate. I think I pressed my B button at the same time with my up button at the same frame, and I actually wanted to look up and slash.
Yeah.
But I slashed to the left and ran into Ganon because I still hold up.
And I also found it a little bit interesting. We were talking about how you didn't powder those 2 the fairy and the anti-fairy and the powder, or the bunny beam in the room before Moldorm 2. And I'm not
nothing
even
dangerous coming up anymore normally if you don't mess it up like me.
Yeah. Well, and what I was saying is I'm not sure that might have actually saved you time, because you might have taken a fall instead if you had powdered them, because you were right on the edge there when you were about to hit them.
Alright, so
yeah, but if you press against the edge, you don't fall.
Waze cannot fortunately come for the interview, but GG Waze.
But yeah, it was a close one. Oase had a couple. There was a couple other small mistakes that Oase made for the seed, unfortunately. But
yeah, I think we both did.
Yeah. It'll be a fun watch. If you like watching your races back, it'll be a good watch.
Yeah, I guess so. But it was a fun race, definitely. I did not expect it to win, especially after the Ganon fall. I expected a finish from him every second. I was also a bit nervous on the second fight. A lot of missed swings and weekly
but I think from my perspective, I think you had a very great execution. Like that Aga 2 fight was very, very beautiful. Just like
that one was not bad. I had good patterns, definitely.
Yeah.
Is what say you would have got the 2 cycle if
that
would got the regular ball.
Yeah.
And also Trinex 0 cycle.
Yeah, but that's
very nice.
Just butter sword.
Very clutch execution from the at the end of the game here, except that unfortunate that Ganon.
It happens.
It happens to everyone.
You know that we won't say anything about the Tower of Hera either.
No, the fall. Oh my god! I realized at that moment that I have no idea how to walk out of Ganon of Tower of Hera if you don't have a mirror down there. You have to actually trigger all the
switches.
The switches again. Yeah.
Yeah, Oase did a death warp here, and I think maybe that would have he took damage during the first.
I didn't even think about it. Death warp. It would have been maybe.
We also said how many times does one runner go into the tile room 4 times in one race?
I should have thought about it. Like I have a rule normally If I don't have boots, like with boots, the bomb jump is super free. If I don't have boots, it depends on my overall feeling, on my overall
Right.
fitness in that seat.
I
If I do it really quick, well, normally I
did
tend
you
to
remember that
release
you
pretty
had the hook
fast.
shot?
All right. I also had a hook shot.
Yeah.
You also had the hook shot.
I also had a hook shot. Yeah.
Because that's my play. I often just go, screw it, I'm taking the hook shot and I'm falling down. I'll fall down one floor and
Actually, not sure what is faster. If you don't have boots, and I didn't have boots at that time, is it faster to use the hook shot or go up and fall down? I never done things like that.
I personally like the hook shot. I don't know what's faster, but I like the hook shot then walk to the right side and fall down the hole, because then you fall on top of the pillar and you just walk right from there.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess falling down is even the.
And
Like,
I'm
the
too
hook shot stride is probably the faster one.
I'm too
I would
impatient
guess.
to know. I want to know what my item is the fastest. So getting the hook shot, you know the item when you go up.
Right, that too.
Please again.
If that's how you find out what the item, if you find out the item's there, like, who knows, maybe
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
yeah,
boots
of
there
course,
and you
yeah.
get to just boots bonk back across.
Definitely.
the best case scenario.
It's happened.
Yeah, my Tower of Hera. I should take that a lot more.
Like the
Serious
seed
normally.
where I saw there was a seed that had boots in Spiral Cave and hookshot in Hookshot Cave.
Boom.
And I'm like, okay, that's a setup.
That's
So
easy.
Zheal, going up from now 4-1, is this where you expect it to be after 5 rounds?
I don't know what I expected, actually. I went into this tournament and I picked up Randomizer actually for this tournament again. I did not play. Like, I started back then with a few randos, then I learned NMG. Then I put it aside.
Right.
It was like mid last year somewhere. And I thought, hey, it's time to try the tournament, so pick up Randomizer again. And then I played a few seats and I thought, hey, let's see where I end up. No, I did not expect to be 4-1 at that
Well,
point. But I'm
always
happy,
hard to
of course.
It's always hard to tell in a tournament of 500 people because so much can come down to so many different factors.
Indeed. I mean, you can always get matched against really strong people and end up 0-4 or something.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not even your fault because you're not even that a bad player, but if you get the strong players and the bad seats for you, then it's still Randomizer.
Or the one wrong gamble that your opponent
Right.
makes the one huge gamble. I saw one seed earlier that had the critical item in Graveyard Ledge, and there was a 30+ minute difference between the runners because it was the Go mode item. It was like Go mode, like
Oh yeah.
Ice Rod type of thing, or Go mode Flute, so it wasn't actually locking that much. But it was in the last pot. But one person checked it like as soon as they got the mirror, and the other person didn't check until like they exhausted everything.
Yeah, Graveyard Ledge is also not an item you check immediately. That's something, for me at least, that's something I check when I slowly but surely run out of locations.
Yeah, and you both basically did the same thing. You both got the boots, and you both got the. I think the boots was after the mirror. I can't remember. Once you got them
yeah.
both, you both very quickly route. Once you had
No,
that
for me not.
combination.
The mirror and the boots are both in POD, and
Right,
I
okay.
got the mirror first.
So you were both in pot at the same time, and then you
That's
both
right.
went and did that set of checks because why not?
Yeah, the early game routing was also not too easy, for me at least. I'm not used to that light, or like I don't like that light world routing without anything. I also did the early dark world without any mirror, without the flute.
Right.
Also Agahnim. I mean, if you slowly run out of locations in the light worlds, and also you found a lamp, maybe then shit's on fire. Agahnim
That's
wise.
also that the fact that we'd had Aga 1 after getting Hammer and Moon Pearl in the first 4 chests of the game. Anyways, we should probably get this wrapped up here in the near future.
Yeah, of course.
So GG very much to you, Zheal.
Thanks.
It was a great
It was a
race.
pleasure.
And of course, GG to Oase. He was not able to join us for an interview, but he put on one heck of a showing as well as a couple of showings of what not to do or what you might have to do if you make little mistakes. So always a good one.
Yeah. And thanks for everyone involved in this race. The racer, of course, like we just mentioned, Zheal and OSA. Also, the tracker for this race was CCX. and restreamer Iceman, and of course Mike, you, Spifers,
Spiffers the Grand.
the Grand.
The Grand.
Very nice time guessing with you, and please follow everybody mentioned, the runner, the everybody involved, and do you know what's up next on Speed Gaming?
I do. First of all, I will take a moment here to thank you as well for commentating with me here, Scary Olive.
Always a pleasure.
And so at 6 o'clock, we have a race. We have a couple races, one on Speed Gaming 3, one on Speed Gaming. Speed Gaming actually will be a huge race. Zero Rush versus ACMLM. I believe that's a 4-0 match. I'm like 99% sure that's a 4-0 match. Sir Linkalot versus Kids of Seth. I'm not sure that's a 2-2 match. So that's actually a very important match. As of course, the loser of that is no longer is almost definitely out of the brackets round. So Speed Gaming 3, and then of course we've got a race. Actually, next race doesn't look like it starts till 8 o'clock at this point. But races all night long. Looks like most of them are on the Speed Gaming Network. So of course, if you are enjoying the tournament, do consider giving the Speed Gaming Network a follow. Speed Gaming through Speed Gaming 6. As well as, of course, you're on the ALTTP Randomizer channel right now. There's 4 of these ones as well, so consider giving them all a follow. They host lots of these tournament races.
Yes, a lot of people involved, and it's a great community.
So with that, one final GG to Zheal and Oase. Fantastic race. Everyone have a fantastic night.
Yeah, goodbye.